who has earned a very special honor, and this year is no exception. This year's recipient is most rewarding and most deserving, and his name is Tony Curtis, and here he is.
Good evening. Thank you, Cathy. That was a very nice introduction.
Was that all right?
Yes. You want to do it again?
You think I should?
No, you don't have to.
Oh, good, good. Bernie Schwartz.
Well, is he here too?
Yes. Brooklyn, New York?
No, you got it wrong.
Okay.
You got two things wrong so far.
Okay.
It's Manhattan.
Manhattan.
You're getting close, though.
Did you speak English at the age of 8? Is it true that you never spoke English until you were 8 years old?
No, that's not true.
Oh.
I was born and raised by a Hungarian family, and until I was 3 or 4 years old, I only heard Hungarian. And it wasn't until I got in the streets of New York that I realized I was living in New York and not in Hungary.
And so it was
So how are we
younger.
doing so far?
Wonderful,
Good.
wonderful. Okay, how many movies have you
I think I made about 110, 11, 12, or 13, somewhere in there.
And your favorite is the Boston
Well, I
Strangler.
like the Boston Strangler, but you know, each picture was made at a different time in my life, and each one took that much energy from me. And to like or not like is very subjective.
Hard to say. But you had such a different look in that film.
Well,
How
I
was
have
that
a
created?
different look in every film. I try to bring a little something. I either put a lot of weight on or lose a lot of weight. They give me different noses. I wear different contact lenses, you know.
Now, I saw a film of that you were in this past Sunday. It was called So This Is Paris.
Yes, in which
and
I danced.
You were fabulous.
Did you see me dance?
I was watching you
Dancing
dance.
and singing?
I mean...
Gene Nelson, who was, he just died.
Did he?
He was a wonderful man. He was a choreographer. He was in Oklahoma. A fabulous guy. Dick Quine directed it. And Gene would teach me how to dance. He would say, hold on to my arm, and when my weight lifted to the left, he says, lift that leg, and then just snap it. So I would do that with him, and then he would put the taps in later.
I see.
Gene Kelly saw the movie. He was a good friend of mine, so I showed him the movie one night. He said, Tony, I wouldn't give up fencing if I was you. So.
But the synchronization, and then once you're on your knees and you suddenly all got up on your toes.
And we did that in 18 days.
Oh, that was fabulous.
Fabulous.
I mean, that had to be also near the beginning of your career.
It was. That was 1954. Right. 50,
Is that right?
Late 53,
oh, God, I got
early
it right
54.
One. 54.
You got one right.
One right. One for Cathy.
Cathy, tell me everything.
The medal.
Well,
what's the story behind the medal?
The first medal I received 3 years ago was from the French government. It's called the Chevalier, which means knight, with a K. Chevalier, the Order of Arts and Letters. That's for my paintings, and that's for my films. And about 3 weeks ago, I was in Hungary. My parents were Hungarian, and I do whatever I can to help the country, you know, whatever they want me to do. So they gave me this honor, which is also a knighthood, for the merit of the Hungarian Republic. So that's 2 nights in a row.
Excellent.
And I'm going to keep it up until I get the whole week.
You got to get it right. I know you said you've already wrote a book about your life, but if someone were to write a book about your life, what do you think the deserving title should be?
He's not available.
When did you know you were so cute? I mean, when you're starting...
Well, I knew I was cute when I was a kid. Then they beat it out of me, right? And so for about 12, 15 years, I kept hiding. And then all of a sudden, I just couldn't keep myself inside anymore.
But you have so much...
I kept popping out, you know.
If you were not in a career in films, what do you think, what other path would you might have taken if you were not in show business?
It's hard to say. You know, I didn't have an education. I got halfway through high school, then joined the Navy. So, you know, an education is really important. And what films gave me was an education. You know, it was on-the-job training. If I had to do an accent or behave like a gentleman,
it came natural.
Or behave like a lady, I could do all of that stuff, you know? And the parts I played, I never played a third-rate person. When I played Houdini, he was the greatest magician.
I love that. I love that movie.
When I was in trapeze, I played the greatest trapeze artist. So you see, and the Great Race, I was a great fencer. So that's the nice thing about movies.
In the Some Like It Hot, when you were dressed like a woman, how did that kind of sit with you, with the heels and all that?
Well, I didn't mind it. I mean, I never wanted to dress like my mother. I don't think I did. But if I did, it's all right, too.
Because since then, there have been other films where men have just like women.
Yes,
but that had to be
absolutely.
one of the
I think
first ones, wasn't it?
Well, it was the first modern one. Not Charlie Chaplin, but Eddie Cantor played a ballerina in one movie, and he was very amusing at it. But then men became very self-conscious about dressing up as women.
That's true.
Some like it hot, we didn't. You know, there was a story. Billy Wilder said to us, look, you're two guys who see a murder, and in order to escape, you've got to dress up like women and join a girls' band. So therefore, that not limited, but we didn't go flouncing around.
No.
And we had to convince the people in the movie that we were girls. You know, like you take Dustin Hoffman in Tootsie. He couldn't convince anybody he was a girl. He was so ugly.
Oh, you're so
We
much
were
cuter.
at least attractive.
That's true. That's true. A little bit about Reptile Man.
Reptile Man.
Did you enjoy making the film?
I did. It's not unlike Sunset Boulevard. You know, an actor or actress who's beyond repair and still wants to make a go at it. You know? And,
It was fun.
I enjoyed it. Well, I enjoy every movie.
I know.
make,
You're such a fun... When you think of Tony Curtis, this vitality and energy,
Oh, thank you.
you have a wonderful aura about you, and when your name is said, they...
Really?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
listen,
and
the best revenge is to have people smile at you. You know, it's one of the most wonderful experiences for me to wherever I travel, when people recognize me, they smile.
Well,
What a wonderful fringe benefit that is.
Well,
in this
you deserve
profession.
it, and
well, I don't know
you
if I deserve
motivate
it. But
last
listen,
question.
I've got to go.
I know, but you're going to New York to make a movie next.
What?
You're going to New York soon?
I'm going to New York in a
make a
couple
movie?
of days, do a movie called Lewis and Frank for a director called Alexandre Rockwell. It's a comedy, and I'll play a manager. You want to be in pictures?
I'd love to, darling, and I like
That's
to.
the kind of part I'm playing.
Next time we're going to talk about your art collection and
That's
the
the next
studio
time.
and
That's when
the
they give
shows
me
that
another award.
Yes.
Maybe next year.
I think two in a row. You deserve it.
Good night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Toodaloo.
much.